Welcome to Writing Research Article Abstracts. Writing an abstract is important for getting a paper or poster accepted at a conference, and it's also an essential part of a published research article. In this video, we will explain the goal of an abstract. Next, we will show you the 6 steps to writing a clear and impactful abstract, and along the way, we will analyze an example to show you how researchers write abstract. First, what is an abstract? It's a brief summary of your research project that provides an overview of the topic, problem, approach, and findings. Typically, abstracts are between 200 to 300 words long. Your goal is not only to summarize your work accurately, though. The second goal you have with an abstract is to communicate the importance of your research and your overall contribution that you've made to the field. When you are submitting an abstract for a conference, it is especially important to communicate the contribution to show why your work deserves to be accepted. Abstracts frequently follow a 6-step pattern to provide readers with key information. This pattern includes Step 1. Establish a territory by describing the topic and importance, stating the problem you study, introducing the goal of your research, describing your methods, previewing key results, and stating the contribution your work makes to your field, policy, and/or practice. Let's break down each of these abstract elements one by one. In Step 1 of your abstract, you will establish the scholarly territory of your work, or in other words, state the topic and importance of your study. You may also include a sentence that provides a high-level statement of something that is currently known in your field about your topic. This part of the abstract is typically 1 to 2 sentences long, and it's written in the present tense. Let's look at an example abstract to show you what these moves look like. This example abstract opens with stating the general topic of the research in the first sentence, wastewater monitoring data. The second sentence summarizes at a high level something that is currently known in the field. One tip for being clear at the beginning of your abstract is to make the topic of your research the grammatical subject of the opening sentence. This ensures readers know what your work is about as quickly as possible. Step 2 of your abstract is to state the problem your study tries to solve, or the gap that exists in our knowledge about your subject. At this point, writers often use contrastive terms like however or despite to clearly mark that they are presenting the problem or gap. This part of the abstract typically takes just 1 sentence and is written in the present tense. In our example abstract, the authors state the gap by saying, however, the accuracy of rate of change estimation approaches has not previously been evaluated. They tell the readers clearly what the problem is that they will be examining. In Step 3 of your abstract, you introduce the goal of your research. This is also typically written in 1 or 2 sentences, depending on the scope of the project, and can be either in the past or present tense. It's also the first point in the abstract where you refer to your work by saying, this study, or we. This is important to remember. The topic, its importance, and the problem must be clear first before readers are ready to hear about what you did to study it. In the example abstract, this is the first time the authors used we, and it signals to readers they are starting to talk about their research. In this step, they tell us the goal of their work and what they did to achieve it. In Step 4, you describe your research methods. Your goal is to give readers confidence this is a well-designed study. You should provide enough high-level details that readers will understand what you did. This is typically the longest section of the abstract and can run from 2 to 4 sentences. Write this step in the past tense. Step 4 of our example abstract describes the steps the researchers undertook for their work. It provides enough information for people to understand generally what they did. They use passive voice here, which is common for engineering methods. This is also the longest portion of their abstract. For Step 5, you explain key results from your study. You don't have room to describe everything, so carefully select what elements are most important for readers. Writers can use 2 to 3 sentences for this section and typically write in the past tense. In our example abstract, the authors indicate they are showing us results by shifting back to the active voice and explaining at a high level the findings for the different approaches of their study. They keep the description of the findings fairly high level, such as their statement between a quarter and a half, while we would certainly find precise values for each in the body of the article. Finally, in step 6, detail the contribution your study makes to the field. What new knowledge is gained from this work? Who is this important to? This step is particularly important for submitting an abstract to a conference, as it shows the reviewers that your work would be important and relevant for attendees who are coming to learn new developments in the field. This part is usually written in the present tense in 1 or 2 sentences. In our example abstract, the authors shift to the present tense and tell us the big picture meaning of their results. They offer an interpretation of what this information means for the field and how this work is conducted in the future. Your abstract pieces together 6 key elements of the puzzle of your research to paint a clear summary of your work and explain why it's important for the field. An abstract written like this will help readers identify if the work is relevant to them and worth reading further. Thanks for watching!